All right, Unity and Path, because Path, it was still of interest. So this is interesting. One of our moderators in Discord apparently had positioned for this, and whether good or lucky, actually that's not fair. He's got a real good fundamental take, and he thought that this was very oversold. So he did extremely well on this. So anyway, this is Unity, and Tim is mentioning it's fire. Sorry, it finally got some fire under it after the Apple Vision Pro deal, and they also benefit from AI technology. Anyway, this Unity, let's see what we get at least for technicals here. Oh, come on, top of the shelf here. Well, that is beautiful. All right, so it based for a long time, right? Obviously the infamous kind of October, November low, but it still was basing. And I know you like this one. 3680 is where it needs to get and stay above, and it is literally sitting on it right here. So fabulous. Wouldn't be surprised, by the way, if it does come back down to 34.5 area, but that is looking pretty decent. Now, very nice chart. Make sure it doesn't turn into one of these, however, right? So tag your it and then right back on the ground. So it absolutely needs to stay above, for lack of a better term, intraday 34.52. And I kind of just said around that 34.5. That's where it absolutely has to stay above, or it can come right back down. Path is another one that is forming. And I know, for example, Archner recommended Rapid 7. I happen to know that. PEGA software, I happen to know that. They're both down in Cambridge. And they have very, very, very similar charts, right? Path is one that happens to be in a kind of a sweet spot with, again, the AI mention, and it is trying to stay above this kind of 18 area. I mentioned I liked it yesterday, after this follow through, but it's still coming down into some, distribution for sure. 1762 needs to stay above on a daily, 1812 on a weekly. Anyway, that's a name, but but look at the RPD, for example, Rapid. It has a similar chart, but it needs to get back above 52.5. So I like how these underneath the 50 are tag. They're trying, but they have to get up, right? And I think PEG is a kind of a similar look, exactly the same kind of similar look. They're coming up to the 50 and they're trying to get above it, but it still looks like a great technical play. I also then, same idea, right? I saw this path with that same type of, it's trying to get up in the same formation, and it did. So I like this as kind of a low risk entry. Now that it's here, it needs to hold, right? Unity. Yeah, it held exactly where it needs to hold. If it's gonna maintain this big bullish burst, right? Which was like what, 25% or whatever, it needs to stay here. So nothing has changed with that analysis.